Guess we might lose some people. Sorry about that. Have to let me know. Like what I'm doing is I follow the. I'm following in here. Unless yes, I'm following here. Okay, sorry about that. So Ted, so this is what you do. So you can say change all of the strategies in the multi-strategy window. So let's just say for argument's sake, you have a different price range you want. You want to go 5 to, this is open-ended, so to say to 30. Um, you want to put in a minimum volume, 250,000 shares. Happy birthday, Michael. I didn't know it was your birthday. Okay, this is how you can affect all the strategies in a multi-strategy window. And then you'd say, okay, now you can save or share to the cloud. Save. Now it's in your cloud. Okay, now it's in your cloud. Now you can go on to the next thing. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, Susie Q. Okay, good. I'm glad that helped. And so you can do that with any window, obviously. Anything from the channel bar, any little window that you think, oh, that looks interesting. You can take a look at it. Again, you happen to pick one that is a multi-strategy, so it's got a couple of alert windows in here. But basically, yeah, you only see the one strategy, then you just make your change, save it to the cloud, and move on. Ah, I must have given that one to somebody. It's okay. Okay, Susie Q, great song. Let me just see. And somebody also asked, just before I get to you, Susie, I just want to put in the link somebody asked for the. I'm going to start getting maybe you to start looking at the scans. If you click on scans in the trading room, and right at the top there is my shared layout. Okay, that's what I call it. There it is. Okay. So I can't copy it because it starts copying my name and all that stuff, okay? So I'm going to start maybe getting people to because I share a lot of different scans, and again, the top one is a shared layout. There is a link for it, okay? And that's within the trading room. Okay, yeah, so I think what's happening, unfortunately, somebody's going to have to look at your account. More than likely, what has happened is that when you're logging in, you're either not putting in the right password username, it is case sensitive, or B, you're still in demo mode or something like that, okay? Or you haven't filled out the exchange agreements. I mean, there could be but somebody will look at your account. So let me just give you the link to the home page. That is typically the what you're going to get. Account is expired. If you have signed up for the test drive, then click on the home page and start a live chat. Make sure you have your email that you use to sign up for the test drive. Make sure you have it handy so they can look up your account. Yeah, if you have the red dot, then that is what's happening. Now, when you say you just paid, Susie, you mean you literally just paid like minutes ago? All right. I think what's happened is, yeah, I think what's happened is I hope we have all this fixed up for the next test drive. I don't know why it's not instant. I understand that most of the time when you sign up for different things, I mean, it's almost instant. You get an email and all that. Yeah, I think I think that's the issue, Susie. I just typed that in and, to our support. It just hasn't recognized it yet, okay? I'm so sorry to have to tell you this. It just hasn't recognized it yet, so give it maybe another, I don't know, 15 minutes or so, okay? I do apologize, but yeah, but if it's people who have just signed up, that would be the reason. Oh, you did get the email. All right. Then again, I guess you're going to have to go to the homepage link that I just typed in. If you did get the email, go to the homepage link and start a live chat. Again, make sure you have the email address that you use to sign up, so they can immediately look up your account. So anybody, for some reason, if you cannot connect, you're part of the test drive. I unfortunately, there's nothing I can do from here because I don't, I don't have access to the accounts and all. Yeah, but normally, once you get the email though, that should be it. Probably not TI. I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, you can look at the past holidays. Go into history and previous trading day, and or a time history time frame. You can pick a time frame. I don't know how many days we go back. It might be 90 days or something. Okay. Yeah, the email is like everything is sensitive. I like to see that changed, case sensitive. That's the other issue that we get a lot. Username and password are case sensitive. Now I'm just seeing a couple of people who are saying they can't log in, and I see our support people saying it has not logged in properly. So it's possible, first of all, remember it's, account login, it's up here, here's your username and password. Do not go down to demo mode. I mean, it should be obvious, but I guess it isn't. No such thing as a stupid question, Mario, okay? No, it's not a stupid question at all. Um, Personally, I wouldn't pay that much attention to the differences, but Holy Grail was our very first one. It was sort of our standard. Holy Grail was um, the only, well, that was Holly, okay? And then after, I don't know, a couple of years, we added one called Neo, or sorry, 2.0. Little more aggressive in terms of maybe the stops. And then Neo was way more aggressive. You will probably see stocks that are, high volume, high relative volume, maybe moving all over the place. So probably giving you the biggest bang for your buck, but also you have to watch it because it could give you the biggest bang for your buck on the downside too. So those are the three versions. Personally, I don't really care anymore. I mean, I think to me, I would just watch the alerts and see and get them and trade around them. I mean, it really shouldn't matter anymore from where they come. We're getting rid of that concept of Through the website, Patmo. I think if you join through the channel bar, I believe it takes you to the YouTube feed. Yeah, let me see something here, by the way. I think I can't talk to the people in. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not inappropriate at all. Just give me a moment here. See if I can get the dialog box up. Okay, so guys, sorry about that. I see there probably were some posts in the YouTube feed. We had a bit of a, usually we're a little more streamlined when we pass it from one trader to the next, but we kind of, I guess I made a mistake this morning, or I didn't realize that somebody had logged out of the YouTube feed. Okay, so if you have questions in the YouTube feed, I am here, and now I can answer them. I'm mostly day trade. I'm not a huge swing trader, but there are a lot of people in the room that swing trade. My Windows background picture, I don't even know what it is, Kenny. I have no idea what it is. And I always love it. Most people hate that one. General statements. Okay, let me. It's actually, you have 2 weeks, JB. Okay, you do have 2 weeks. Well, if you can see my screen, and I'll get to your question, JB. If you can see my screen, hopefully, here are a lot of links that I have, okay? And typically, the only reason I didn't get to all these links before is because, I inundated with questions, understandably, right at the beginning. So I'm sort of a little bit out of the normal flow that I would have outside of test drive 2 weeks, okay? But typically what I do is I go over all of these. So for instance, there's the YouTube live support, training or education. You click on that link right there. We have a lot of training and education. It'll bring you to this page. There's that YouTube that I was talking about from 12-in-1. This is a great link here. Learn trade ideas with 20 lessons in 20 days. Of course, you don't have to take 20 days. They're very short videos, but lots and lots of links. Here are all our webinar links. Okay, you subscribe to all the webinars we've got. I don't even know what's down here. Getting started videos. I mean, there's just a lot of, but I would really, this Sean McLaughlin did a heck of a job in putting together these 20 little videos. Okay, which are just sort of very basic videos, how to create an alert window, how to create a top list window, very basic. Okay, so you're talking about using our, yeah, I'll definitely, JB, I should spend a lot more time on Brokerage Plus. I will get to it. I'll just try to answer Todd. So you're talking about using the back tester. You're talking about taking an alert window, maybe a little strategy you may have created. My goodness, that Mark. Okay. Yeah, and then you use the back tester. Well, listen, I do not use the back tester anymore. I used to, but now I let the AI do that where I have no time. It's a very tedious thing to do. I mean, you create an alert window just to show you people what I'm talking about. Backtest strategy. You can create your start time, your end time, timed exits, risk management, all these tabs you fill out and you simulate your buy, and then you'll see what your profit. I'll do one maybe a little bit later just to show that it exists, but it's a tedious process even to do one. So I don't do it anymore. Okay. But it also depends on how many, over what time period and how many alerts were there and how many alerts. Well, okay, because that's okay. It's okay. But the thing is that like you can try to optimize it right down. You get 12 alerts, and they're all look fantastic overnight, over 60 days, 90. You need a bigger sample size, is what I'm trying to say. You'll be sort of form fitting everything, and you just need a bigger sample size. But well, Chris, not I don't. Understand that the basic new highs and lows for Mark, it would have been showing it right from here. Okay, so whether or not you're going to hop on at 137 is up to you. Okay, it didn't just, of course, start showing it at 187. You're asking, listen, we get the question all the time. I want to find a stock that does this, but I want to get the alert here, and and then it did this. So not hard to show stocks that do this. Okay, but there's no guarantee that once it does this, that it's going to continue, moving higher. That's all I'm going to say. So it's not necessarily that it was already high. You would have seen this one back here in, at a dollar whatever 30. You would have seen it right here at $1.30. Okay, which is not like an extraordinary pop from what it was this morning. Now, whether you're going to trade it right there, that obviously has to be up to you. You can't configure the AI strategy. Yeah, Ephraim, I hate to tell you this. Yeah, if you're using our web-based version, unfortunately, the Brokerage Plus is not available. What we tell our Mac users is, if you can see yourself to using an emulation program like Parallels, which is what a lot of our Mac users do, and people who at Trade Ideas who have a Mac, that's what they do. Okay. Then you're able to use the download version, which is more robust than the web-based version, including having Brokerage Plus. Yeah, there are others. You're right. VMware Fusion. There are others. I think that it seems to be the majority use Parallels, but that's not. I'm not trying to promote Parallels or anything. Whatever. If you're willing to use an emulator, then find the one that you want to use. Can I see an AI history? We can't backtest it, but you can see the AI history. I'm on history right now. Just okay. So you take this window, right click, and history. Okay, and then you can look at previous trading day or establish a time frame. I believe you can go back 90 days. It may be 60. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go through the Brokerage Plus walkthrough right now, okay? So JB, this is for you, but obviously there have to be other people who are wondering about how to use Brokerage Plus, what is it good for and all. I would say that number one reason with Brokerage Plus, probably for a lot of people, is going to be the simulation paper trading mode, okay? So in order to load Brokerage Plus, and yes, you need the app, you cannot, it's not available in the web-based version. So from the toolbar, just click on New, Brokerage Plus. Looking for the link for the 90 trading. I'm going to probably put that somewhere so it's self-evident. Let me, and I do apologize. I know, I'm flitting back and forth constantly, but that's okay. So Dan, this is the link, 20 days. Okay, 20 lessons in 20 days. Okay, so you load Brokerage Plus. And this is the window that will show up. Obviously, you won't see these trades. This is the window that will show up, the Brokerage Plus window. You can, these are headers. It's difficult because I do want to answer the questions as they come. Okay, but let me just, let me at least finish this thought. So here are the headers that you can have, okay? You right click, columns, and here are all the column headers that are available to you. You know, you pick and choose whatever ones you want. These are the ones that I've got here. Dave, you see, hopefully you can see the gear icon, okay? And here's where, there it is, okay? So this is just a toggle on and off. So that gear icon, okay? Hopefully you can see that gear icon. Okay. So those are the columns that you have. Here are the tabs within Brokerage Plus that you can have. If you click on the new button within Brokerage Plus, not in our toolbar, but within Brokerage Plus, here are the tabs that you can have. Now, in order to use Brokerage Plus in simulation mode, you would check Trade Ideas Simulated Trading, okay? This is the toggle on and off. If you do have an interactive broker's account and you do want to trade using Brokerage Plus, trade your real money, you can do so. You just have to connect to interactive brokers. But I'm gonna spend virtually all my time on simulation trading, okay? Because for new traders, you should practice. Don't jump in with real money until you've practiced trading. Now, practice trading, even if you make $1 million practice trading, does not mean you're going to make $1 million in your real account, okay? You know, once you start seeing your P&L live, that's when emotion starts to hit. So, just want to tell you. So, I mean, but you should practice trading before you really commit real money. You do not have to pay extra for Brokerage Plus unless, so yeah, listen to me really closely, please, everybody. Brokerage Plus is part of your standard package, okay? The standard service. Now, of course, everybody in the test drive has the premium service, but you know, let's just say for argument's sake, after the test drive is over and you want to subscribe and you don't feel maybe you want the AI well, Brokerage Plus is part of the standard service. When you need the premium service, I will let you know. Don't know why your window is all black. So you're saying you can't see my screen. It's frustrating for me that you can't see. You could always go to the YouTube feed. Just make sure you mute this room, because the YouTube feed doesn't seem to be as big an issue, people not being able to see my screen. Or try refreshing. Okay, so Wade, you cannot use Thinkorswim, okay, and automated trading. Okay, guys, again, I see a lot of questions coming in. Let me try to just get through this a little bit. It's just what happened. Sure. I'll give you a link for the. Wade's asking Thinkorswim. You know, I could say yes. We'd love to have Thinkorswim. It's not that we don't want to have Thinkorswim. Just give me a second. I just got to find my link. Just give me a second. I just got to find my link for the. Oh, there we are. Okay, this is a link for the YouTube streaming. Okay. And so if you're going to, you can still stay in this room if you want. I mean, there is a dialog box in the YouTube stream. Okay. You can still stay in this room if you want. Just make sure you mute this room, because otherwise there's just a slight delay, okay, in echoing or in the audio. So make sure you mute this room or the other one. I guess you could mute the other one. Doesn't matter. Yeah, the trading room is just a little more robust because there are more traders in the trading room. There's more action in terms of posts and all. Again, when we get back to sort of a normal swing of things, maybe in a couple of, maybe after this week, you'll see there's just more action. I mean, the YouTube feed is picking up. So I'll wait for you to get into the YouTube room so I can continue. Yeah, this is yeah, the channel cannot have that many windows. So you see in the channel, I know it's going to get a little confusing, but try to if I can sort of explain a little bit here. In the channel bar, you'll notice that when you click on various channels, there are not that many windows, okay? Maybe a couple of charts, maybe a couple of scans, and that's it. Try to keep it very, very easy, okay? What my channel is really all about is showing you this. You know, and I haven't had the time really to talk about my watch list up and down at all today, but this is something that I have created, excuse me, especially for new traders, but even myself. I mean, you know, this is my go-to window now all day, just so that you can concentrate on few stocks all day long. I create this watch list every day. Well, once the market closes tonight, I'll go to work on the watch list that will be available for tomorrow. There's nothing for you to do. You know, I mean, you don't have to do this now, because this what I've done for this 2 weeks is I've incorporated all this as part of my layout that I'm sharing. Okay, so you don't have to go to my channel to see these two or these three plus the charts. I know it's probably a little confusing. All right, so Eric, and I'm not sure it's completely 100% up to date. If you are interested in what the AI strategies are looking for, if you click on the links, you click on links in the trading room, and you see where it says AI/Holly strategy trades descriptions. If you click on that'll go to a PDF. I'm not 100% sure. I think it's probably 95% up to date. Okay. You know, and I'm not trying to dismiss you. I mean, personally, I don't really care what the name of the strategy and what it's looking for. All I care is what alerts am I getting, okay? And do they set up for me? No, I haven't talked. Okay, so how to get this window, and I'll continue to talk about Brokerage Plus. All right, Potmo, can you, in the trading room, you see all the tabs we've got? We've got stocks only, off topic, etc., etc. One of them is called links. One of them is called links. Okay, can you not see that? Okay, but can you not see the different tabs? You're an off topic. You're in the off topic. Can you not see the other tabs like stocks only, underneath swing trading, tech support, subscriptions, scans, links? Doesn't matter where I'm pointing really. Okay, so one of the tabs is called links. And if you click on that tab called links, one of the links is the AI/Holly strategy trades strategy descriptions. Are you talking to me, Evrim? Is Trade Zero? No, my broker is Interactive Brokers. Okay, continuing with JB. All right, so the most manual way to use Brokerage Plus, once you've loaded it and these are all the columns I've got. I mean, you don't have to use the same ones, but then basically you just click on an alert. Okay, this is the most manual way to use it. And when you click on an alert, yeah, there's no tabs, Potmo. I mean, that goes to a PDF document. Oh, is it possible to lay? I think it is, Evrim. I'm not 100% sure. If you go to the home page, our home page, and ask, I think it's anybody in this room using Trade Zero? Maybe I'll just ask the question. Anybody in this room using Trade Zero? And then if you are you able to establish a link to Trade Zero? Okay, I just don't know, Evrim, if it's I think it is probably possible with Trade Zero. Well, it's a broker. Trade Zero is a broker. Yeah, I'm only asking the question. I mean, people will know Trade Zero if they have it. Okay. So if you go to the home page, just ask the question then, Evrim, okay? Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, JB, let's continue. So you click on an alert here, the symbol will show up. Here's how many, you can pick how many shares you want. Go in at whatever price you want to go in at. This is all real time, guys. Okay, it doesn't matter what broker you've got. It's using our real time data. Yeah, I did, Jatinder, I did. If you want to go long, you buy. If you want to short it, you sell. Okay, pretty simple stuff. If you want to get out of the trade, you flatten it. If you want to get out of half your trade, you get out of half. You want to double it, double your position, you double. I'll gloss over reverse. If you're a new trader, I would forget about this one. Just means if you were short, now you want to go long, or vice versa, you click on that. So that is the simplest way to use this. So let's take a trade. Cloud. That's sort of an ETF for the cloud computing sector. Let's just take the trade, okay? I'll go a couple hundred shares. Okay, what's the market? It's a penny. I'm gonna buy right at the market. See, just bought 200 shares at 19.20. Now I can put a stop in now if I want. And we'll talk about, so let's just say I wanted to put a stop right there. I mean, that looks like a pretty decent area to put a stop in, right around 19. Look where it came from. So now I can just type that in. 1902 in the stop price, sell it there. So the stop now was added right here. See how the stop line was added right there? So if I allowed this that trade to go down to 1902, I would lose $35. Now, let's just say the trade really starts working well. I can always take that stop and I start moving it up right on the chart. Okay? So I've just moved it up to this area right there. If I wanted to put in a target. Say I want to put in a target at, it's hard to see in this chart, but I mean, say 1950. So I think you have to do it in both. And sell. So you can see on this weekly chart, you see where it showed up? See, it says 1950. If I allowed this trade to take me out at 1950, automatically, I'd be up $61, as an example. I could always move the stop up or this target up just like I moved the stop price up, though. So right on the chart, highly, highly visual. I did change it to today, Dave. Or am I not seeing the... Okay, so that is a very manual way to use Brokerage Plus in simulation mode. You could do exactly the same thing using your interactive brokerage account. Okay, you just have to connect to it. Everything I just did is part of the standard service. Okay, part of the standard service. No, Eric. No. No, I can answer. I don't mind answering. We don't have enough Canadian subscribers, number one. Well, I don't know how many Canadian subscribers we have, to be honest. But we certainly don't have enough people who care about the Canadian market to make it a business decision for us to do that. And I'm a Canadian, so it's not like I'm not biased. I'm not, okay. No, it doesn't default to anything. It doesn't default to anything, okay? You have to make this, and I'm going to keep going with Brokerage Plus, okay? I do want to keep going and showing. Every morning, you have to make the decision to check, okay, the simulation trading. When you load trade ideas every day, this is unchecked. Everything is unchecked, okay? So you have to make the decision to do this. Oh, absolutely, Wade. You can just, you can go and flatten your position or get out of half of your position. Okay, you just have to highlight the trade and get out. You don't have to let it run. Just like right here.
Are you almost done? Yeah, we're pretty much done. We're taking some final.
Well, and even in the AI, yes. Yes. But we don't, I'm going to tell you right off the bat, we don't recommend auto trading the AI.
It drains water? Like it leaks kind of? No, it's the system is that
I know there's a little bit of,
you have to clean it up often and then drain water out. So I don't know if there was any water.
background noise.
If the cap's closed, yeah, even moving it around, no water will go anywhere. Okay. Yeah, so they always put them on some cardboard just to protect your flooring.
Okay, it must be the order, but okay, I wasn't even sure. So their show order buttons is, so Galileo, I love it, Galileo. If you can see the gear, that's just an option, okay? If you click on that gear, show order buttons, and it'll be here. Oh, I see. You have to have it in positions tab, yes, also. Okay, one moment, please. Sorry about that. Now, I just want to also say before I show you how to get a layout on my screen, okay? One thing, I know it's a little confusing. This is Brokerage Plus. If you're bound and determined that you want to auto trade the AI, then you have to buy Brokerage Plus, okay? It's a one-time licensing fee for $1,100 minus whatever appropriate discount there is. I guess 15% right now, 15%, okay? And when I say a one-time licensing fee, what that means is that if you decide that you want to stop trading for a while and unsubscribe from Trade Ideas, and then if you come back, then Brokerage Plus is still waiting for you. Okay? So that's the only time you have to buy Brokerage Plus. Most of you don't have to buy Brokerage Plus. I'm going to say it right off the bat, unless you're bound and determined that you want to auto trade the AI. Okay, here is my layout. Femi, here is my layout, okay? And remember, before you load it, if you have a layout already on your screen, make sure that you save your layout to the cloud, okay? Make sure you file, save or share to cloud. You're probably going to say entire layout, give it a name and save it, okay? Because you can only have one layout loaded at a time. Okay, now if you're in a channel, don't worry about it. If you have a layout from the channel, well, I'm just talking about if you created a personal layout, make sure you save that personal layout to the cloud.
The furnace itself is fine, but I guess water got in the venting a little bit.
No. Okay. No, Todd, it's included. Brokerage Plus is part of the standard service. Okay? Yeah, the layout is available to you. Brokerage Plus is part of the standard service. If you wanted to auto trade your own alert windows, okay, your own alert windows, then you have to have our premium service. You know, and basically you'll have a layout, you'll have an alert window that you created. You'd go to your strategies tab. Let me just drop this down a little bit. And you would right click and you would right click and load from cloud. So you would create your own alert window. And again, guys, don't worry if you don't quite get all this. You know, this is now getting into, somewhat advanced topics, okay? Most people will not auto trade their alert windows. But if you took my alert window or you create one, you save it to the cloud, and then you load from the cloud. You would find it, load, and there it is. There's the basic new highs and lows. Let's just say if I wanted to auto trade, I would never do that because there's just a ton of alerts coming through here. But if I wanted to auto trade that strategy, I would have to create the strategy. I would have to create my rules within it. How much am I going to risk? 1,000? No. You know what I'm saying, but you have to create where's your stop, all sorts of, you have to create the trading strategy ahead of time, and then you would turn it on. You'd right click, strategy disabled. See, I just turned it on. That would mean, I've just turned them on. I just turned these two on. That would mean if a symbol showed up in one of these, it would automatically take the trade. That's what's called auto trading. If you wanted to do that, then you need our premium service.
Well, I did it because the dog now doesn't fit anymore with the heater. And the noise was so loud.
Oh, so things got.
Yeah.
Will this one be okay then, or?
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll try.
Okay, so Love Peace Tranquility asked a question about how do you use the AI to find stocks that are moving during the day to take long positions. Well, I mean, the AI, again, it's kind of, you get the alert, and now kind of it's up to you. I mean, there's AVYA is a, well, if I'm looking at this one, there was the alert, little pullback there, kind of basing. This still has maybe not a lot of room though. Look at that weekly chart. Maybe 14 is going to stall it. Okay, but you know this is when you know some trading experience comes into it. I just think it's more advisable to manage the exits on your own. Okay. That's my personal opinion. A lot of people, what they're hoping for, and maybe someday down the road, they want to auto trade the AI, just turn it on in the morning and count their money at the end of the day. And I'm not going to try to snow anybody. We're not there yet to do that. Well, a lot of times, G244, a lot of times, you know, I mean, you get these, like in my basic new highs and lows. Now, you don't see the ones right off the bat, okay? Because I reloaded this, but I mean, at 9:30, you're starting to get them. These could be the momentum trades, okay? And they could keep going. Well, I mean, if you like the idea, love, peace, tranquility of having, you know, a nice watch list of alerts that are going to appear automatically for you, and then, you know, you make a determination. I mean, nobody can know whether or not the AVIA alert, AVYA, nobody can know if it's going to do this, you know, go from 1285 to 1344. You know, now we have, you know, obviously, you know, this is a strategy. And you'd like to think that it's going to, you know, because you get an alert from it, you'd like to think that it's going to, you know, do something positive, but there's no guarantee. So this is it, Patmo. This is the link for the that you're seeing. That's the link right there, right underneath you. Shared layout. That's the cloud link. You're not downloading it from the cloud. No, your cloud is your cloud, if you understand, okay? It's your cloud, so you have to first, you know, download it, and then you can save it into your cloud. So it's hard for me to answer that question, love, peace, tranquility, whether or not you need our premium service or not. I mean, if you like the idea of every day you have this strategy trades, the AI strategy trades just loading for you automatically without you having to do anything, and you start getting some alerts that, yeah, I can see, I could trade that one, I could trade that one. You know what I mean? Yeah, that would be up to you. In terms of the AI determining the number of trades, you notice here we do have tools, options, and you see AI trade size. So again, I try to get people used to the idea of risking $100 or risking a certain amount per trade, as opposed to, you know, I'm going to take, you know, 200 shares of everything, or committing a certain dollar value. I like the idea of committing a certain dollar amount that you're willing to risk per trade. And that's how it does it. Oh, no question, Benny. What would you have to put in by the field hours of trading? In which one? Are you talking about some of these consolidation filters or alerts? Yeah, that's up to, I mean, I don't know. I don't use that one. I mean, that's really up to you. You know, how far out you go. What I would do is this. Okay, give me an, okay, so let's just take a look at one of them. Crossed above resistance. Is that, I'm sorry, was that a filter or an alert? Crossed above resistance right here. Confirmed. Oh, hours of trading. Okay. So when if you click on help, you can click on help on any one of our alerts and filters, and it'll bring you to a help page and a definition of the of what it's looking for. And you'll notice that so you can read this, and then you can click on below. Sorry, below. Some will have more options, as you see. You click on below. Some of them will, not all of them. And then it'll give you a better than I can possibly do it. It'll give you a definition of all of this, okay? Okay, and that's good. The other question we get a lot is, do you have this? Do you have that? Well, the best thing to do is go to an alert window, right click, configure, and then search. So for instance, do we have Ichimoku? Well, let's just type it in. If I can spell it, Ichi, I can tell right off the bat. Nothing is popping up, so we do not have anything on Ichimoku. What do we have for RSI? So here's what we have for RSI. Here's what we have for MACD. Okay, so basically go to an alert window, search, and then type in just start typing to see what we have. Well, I've sort of described, well, listen, I don't advise it. Okay, I don't think I just find it too risky. Okay, if you just think you can let the trade run without any sort of management, that is my personal opinion. Okay, there could be people in the room that are auto trading the AI and they love it. Ideal trading station. Yeah, I don't know how to answer that. I mean, I have 3 32-inch monitors and a very robust desktop computer. You know, whether that's ideal. I mean, we do a lot of the heavy lifting. Heavy lifting meaning, your system doesn't require that much computer power. I need something fairly robust because I'm running 2 trading rooms. I've got, of course, my brokerage account. I'm also typically I do a video, and I've got a lot of things going on. But I think for the average person, just a normal computer. Yeah, Nate, we had a problem this morning with the website. Yeah, I know. I thought it was fixed right around 9:30 though, but maybe I'm wrong. I thought it was fixed or right after. Do apologize. Yeah, Crex is, I mean, I just feel I'm missing a ton of... Look at AMRS. So that's kind of an overview, okay, of what Brokerage Plus, what you can do. There's, paper trading. Here's how you use the buy button right on the chart with Brokerage Plus. So you have to have like a long strategy that you've loaded in here, okay? And again, if you're right, you have to have some space, I guess. Just a second. So again, you can either load an alert window that you created from the cloud or create a brand new trading strategy. You give it a name. Is it a long? Is it a short? Again, this is sort of, again, you don't have to have Brokerage Plus to use Trade Ideas, okay? This is just for people who want to maybe, paper trade, but this is a more advanced use within Brokerage Plus. You don't have to do this. But you give it a name, Now all these tabs, you can fill in as much information as you want. I will show you what I use for my chart long strategy. So you notice I've got one of them that I created called chart long $100 risk. And this is what I did. So I don't have an entry time because this is just a discretionary trade. I take it anytime I want. Order details and risk management, I always say this, go hand in hand. Get used to the idea, I would like you to get used to the idea of when you get into a trade, you have to have an out. Not all the trades are going to work, all right? How much are you willing to risk on the trade? By the way, guys, this GAN is really interesting. You know, I can't load it right now. I have this open, but look at GAN, G-A-N. Okay, I'm going to have to do this. Okay, so get used to the idea of order details, risking a certain amount per trade based on the stop loss. This is a drop-down menu based on stop loss. And so I'm risking, in the simulator, I will risk $100 a trade. And I say this over and over again, if you have a $5,000 account, you're not going to risk $1,000 a trade. Never mind all this stuff yet, okay? I'm just trying to get the basics in. And then notice what it says, position sizing based on a stop loss. Risk management. Stop loss is going to be built based on this filter. And this is the VWAP stop that I was trying to show before. This is a proprietary stop. I would encourage you to try this because this is what in the AI now is starting to use this VWAP stop. You know, and don't worry how it's created. It's a proprietary stop. What that means is if I click on an alert at any time, I'm going to see that number, you know, in my single stock window. And what that would mean, so I see like 0.23 right there. That means if I took the trade, my stop would be 23 cents away underneath. So if it moved down against me, 23 cents, I'd get, you know, that's the stop that it's going to use. Sorry, spilled my drink. Let me see if I can answer your question. Just give me a moment here, Aviator. You can put a target, an offset. That's called an offset. So a lot of people say, well, I like to have a target. All right. I don't, but just for purposes of the demo. So I put a 50-cent target. So in other words, if I get into a stock at $1 and it moves to $1.50 and I didn't do anything, it would take me out of the trade automatically. So let's see how that works. Now, in order to use the buy button on the chart, if you don't have that buy button on the chart, you have to have the latest version of Trade Ideas. I think most of the people that are in the test drive, they should have been able to download the latest version. So you should see that buy button in the chart. You take one of those long strategies within Brokerage Plus and you say, okay, this is going to be my default chart long strategy. You check it. You can pick any one of them. Obviously, I named this one chart long $100 risk, so that, you know, just so I would know, instantly which is the strategy or I want to use for my, if I'm going to use the buy button. So let's see how it works. So there's the buy button. Make sure I'm connected. Okay. So there's the buy button. So I could do this a couple of ways. If I click on this buy button and I drop it under, I release it underneath the price that it's at right now. That means I'm looking to buy this maybe on a pullback. Okay, so I set it up ahead of time. Or, you know, let's say I really wanted it to break the high of the day for whatever reason. I could drop it up here. You know, once I click on it, I would just release it. When I say drop it, just release, you know, on my mouse. But let's just take the trade. Okay, John Kotsonis, just give me a moment here, okay? We don't have an API that you can use, Wade. We don't do that. Sorry. So let's just take the trade. Let's just take a look. Now, I'm just going to, for demonstration purposes, so I clicked on the buy button. I'm going to drop it right on the price, see if I can nail it. Yeah, okay, so I dropped it right on the price. Notice it took the trade, AMRS. Why did it take 370 shares? I need a show of hands. Exactly, because of the risk level. If I take that entry price of 334, I subtract the stop price that was automatically generated by this using this VWAP stop. You can see right down there, there's the stop. Maybe a little unclear here on this daily chart. There's the stop. Look at what it says, minus 101. So it gets as close to it as possible. And I said I want to risk $100 on the trade. So if I allow this to run, okay, and I allow this to go right down to 306, I will lose $100 on the trade. I don't have to do anything. Okay, it was set. It's all set up for you. There's no motion whatsoever. If you want to do that, now you can always take that stop, and I can always say, you know what? I'd rather have a stop right there, right underneath this area here. Okay, see how I just move the stop right on the chart? That I move that red line right on the chart. So now I know it's hard to see, but if I allowed that to happen, if it came down to that price, I'd lose the $87. Notice up here, it says, see if I can see something a little more clear. Yeah, it's sort of very jumbled, but it's hard to see on this weekly chart, but there is the 50 cents above. Remember I was saying I put a target of 50 cents above? So if I allow that to happen and take me out, I'd make $183. If I allowed it to do it automatically, 50 cents above where I got in. I can do the same thing. Let's say that it starts to really work well. Why would I get out? I could always just take this right on the chart and move it up or down. So a lot of people ask for trailing stops. This is what I consider a really nice trailing stop. Instead of putting some kind of an artificial, 1% below or 20 cents below, why not just use this and keep, putting it in areas on the chart that makes sense. Just let me get this down here again. Remember, guys, we've got 2 weeks. You don't have to learn everything in the first 4 hours. The simulation option is right here in the Brokerage Plus. Okay, you have to have the Brokerage Plus window, so click on New and Brokerage Plus. Okay, New, Broker, okay, and then right here, Connected. Okay, check Trade Idea Simulator. Okay? Okay, you don't see the buy and that's because, for whatever reason, I thought it was sort of automatic, but I guess it is not. There's a gear there. Can you see the gear? Sort of the bottom right-hand corner of your Brokerage Plus window, there's a gear. Oh, also you have to have the positions. Be in, the positions tab. Click on positions. Maybe that'll show it to you. John, this is the layout. Okay. Yeah, sorry, I should always say you have to be in the positions tab to see the buy and the sell, because it assumes that's the only way you can place trades is in the positions tab. But I guess I should always mention that. So John Kotsonis, right? I just put the link for the layout underneath. Make sure again. Make sure again that you save your layout to the cloud first, right? Because this is a layout, it will replace your current layout. Well, okay, what you see here is just in the simulator TI and demonstration. I have not taken any trades today. There's no, I just can't concentrate on trying to take trades today, okay? You'll get a better feel a couple of days from now. I'm sure tomorrow I'm still going to have lots and lots of questions, which is absolutely okay. Okay, so are you talking about the historical alerts within the AI or just in general in an alert window? Are you talking about these alerts here, which were generated from? Okay, yeah, no, that's part of the standard service. Just right click, history. Pretty simple. Previous trading day, or you can pick a time frame. Okay. Okay, so Potmo, if you just load my layout, everything will be blank until you start getting alerts, okay? You won't see the alerts that happen earlier on in the day if you just loaded my layout. And Pam, I know you had a question about the TI Pro Web. I wish I had somebody else just to support TI Pro Web. I mean, I just don't use it. Only 4 tabs at the top left where you have 7. What 7 tabs are you talking about? And I will answer your question, Dave, about timed until exit. Let me load the web and see what you might be talking about. Ah, okay, it's different. It's just different, that's all. Okay, it is just different. There's a different toolbar, that's all. You won't have exactly what this is the app you're looking at, but in essence, this is, obviously you can file load from cloud. New will bring up. Well, do you have a PC? Ah, please use the use the downloadable version then, please use. So it's right here. If you click on links within the trading room, and where it says download TI Pro or Beta, okay, when you click on that link, just down right here, right there, download right here. I don't know why this is up here. I think that's, I'll say it right now, I think that's dumb. But I mean, our app is way more robust. So anyway, right here, okay, just scroll down a little bit. And that is your download for the app. You'll be much happier. All the stuff I go over with Brokerage Plus. Brokerage Plus is just not available, on our app, on the web-based version. Don't, not the app. It is just not the web-based version. Yeah. Okay, one moment, please. I don't know if you heard that in the background. Just a minute, please. All right, listen, I just have to go grab some water. Okay, now typically I shut the room down at 3, but I'm sure I'll go to 4 today, all right? So typically I shut the room down at 3. Every day I go from 9 to 3, but well, let's put it this way. I'll stay until there are no more questions. Hopefully not past 4, but okay. But let me just go and get some water. You got that right, Scuba. I want to check one thing here. I did see. Yes, I'll go over it. Guys, just one moment, please, okay? I don't know if it's another trade, but just give me a moment here, okay? Or maybe my wife answered. Yeah, I can answer that question, C6. Just give me one moment, okay? Just give me one moment. What was my train of thought? What was I trying to do? Oh, yes. Links, training or education. Okay. I thought there was a... Okay, here we go. So, Nate, you asked a question about Brokerage Plus and connecting, etc. Okay, and this is for anybody else. So, one of the of the 20 videos, the 20 in 20 days. Again, you know, you don't have to. You can do it faster. 18, 19, and 20 are all about Brokerage Plus. Okay. So that is for you, Nate. Yeah, C6, that is just how it works for us. The question was, this is how we can have one alert window rather than several with sort of two competing. Where are you? It's just the way we handle negative numbers. Okay, so, well, in this one I don't have, oh, I shouldn't have it anymore. I should not have it anymore. Which one are you looking at? I thought I differentiated them now. Maybe you have an old one. I differentiated them now, pre-market actives up and down. No, not dumb question. No, give me a second here. No, not a dumb question at all. I'm going to try to get people to start using the links. Okay, so the links tab has a lot of information. Links, and you see where it says TI training or training or education. You click on that link, and then within there is the 20 by 20, 20 for 20. Okay, so you click on that link and you'll see the 20 for 20, and then within here you'll be brought to this page. Lots of training links. Okay, and one of them is the 20 to learn trade ideas 20, and then the bottom 3 videos are all to do with Brokerage Plus. So it wasn't differentiated. I thought that I had created. Gosh, I can't believe I didn't do it. I went over all this weekend, but so don't you get 2 versions? Oh, I think I see what you mean. You're wondering why does it say -3 here? Oh, I see. Okay, it's just the way it is. You know, I don't know what to say. Max of -3%. So it's just the way we differentiate something that's down. So the min is obvious. I mean, you know, you're looking for a minimum up 3% in this one. And the way we do this for the I want to see something that's down at least 3% is we put in the max column minus numbers. Okay? It's just the way it is. But you do get both of them, all right? You do get the up and down. Please tell me that. It's just the way it is. It's way back when they decided, instead of then having to, well, literally doing what I've done here, to be honest, I did this because, especially during earnings season, as one window, I could have done this. I could have put -3 here. So I could have put +3 here. I could have put -3 here, had one window instead of two of them. Had I done that, then I'd be scrolling down to the bottom to see the ones that are down the most, okay? Because we're in earnings season, we're getting so many alerts. What I'm doing now is I just separated them. Kenny, I can't click on that link. I don't know what it's going to give to me. I'm sorry. I would do the 20 and 20, Kenny. I would do the 20 and 20. Click on that training link that I gave that's here. Click on the training link there. There, I'll also put that in the YouTube stream. Okay, here you go, Ever. I'm sorry. Yes, I'm sorry. I see you asked that a little while ago. Yeah, we don't expect. Nobody is going to be an expert after 10 days. Okay. It will get easier, trust me. Trust me. It will get easier, as you go forth. Especially if you click on that link and that training or education, and then where you see 20 days or 20 videos for 20 days, I think that'll help a lot. Like a lot. The other thing is that, like, I'm going over so many different aspects of trade ideas because there are lots of people who want to do different. When you have, I don't know, 500 odd people in a trading room, you have, everybody's going to have different trading styles. Everybody is going to want to see. Some people want to see some certain aspects of trade ideas. Some people want to see other aspects of trade ideas. So I'm trying to cover them all. However, I'll be honest, I use very few. I mean, I have a very to point of view in using trade ideas. So even though there are I'm just going to whip through. Look at all the alerts, all the filters, everything we've got. I use maybe 0.5% of them, but they're there because it works for my style of trading, but there could be other, based on your style of trading, you might want different sorts of alerts or filters. So that's why, we've created something that is a la carte. You don't have to learn a programming language or anything. You can just pick and choose what you want to do. Why don't I do this? Why don't I create an alert window from scratch, just kind of to show you the thought process? If that is of any interest to anybody. Let me see. Just give me a second here. I've lost the, where are you guys? I hope I didn't, I hope I accidentally didn't close down the room. Where the heck is it? Just give me a second here. There you are. Oh, God. Okay, there you are. Okay, I'll show you how I created my basic high and low. Okay, am I up? Am I? Yeah, there is a starting from scratch in the 20 by 20 for 20. Okay, there is one, but I'll just show you how, relatively easy it is. Okay, so you start off with new alert window. You start from scratch. Load the settings. Okay. Say okay. Or load the setting. Now there's nothing in here. Nothing. Okay, there's nothing in here right now. I'm starting from scratch. So I'll do it again. New alert window. Start from scratch. Load the settings. Now, here's where you start. Now, the first thing you always do when you create an alert window is start with your filters. Your filters, basically, they start sort of whittling the universe of stocks down to a manageable number. It might look a little bit different on the web, which I have no experience with, but it should be. But it should look, actually, I think on the web, it looks better, to be honest. But it's the same principle. So let's just say, okay, I only want to see stocks between $5 and $30. What I always do is then I always click on the summary to see if I've done it right English language. It'll show me, okay, stocks where the price is between 5 and 30. Okay, so far so good. Oops. Relative volume is a great filter, okay? Relative volume, basically what that means is, right now, what is it, 230? If I put 2 in here, relative volume of 2, what that means is that it's a little more involved, but for purposes of a simple explanation, if I take the average over the last 10 days, of what a stock has traded up to $2.30 time-wise, and I put 2 here, that means this stock has to be trading double of what it has normally done over the last 10 days up to this point, up to say 10:30 right now, or 2:30 right now. Okay, very cool filter. So in other words, we want to see things that are trading abnormally volume-wise. Next, and see, current volume is at least 2. I can add a minimum volume if I want to have 500,000 shares. Volume today, 500,000 shares. I always click on the summary because sometimes you type in an extra zero, and you type in 5 million or 50 million, and then you think you're all done, and you say, why the heck am I not getting any alerts? And that's usually the reason. Or you put 200 here, just something stupid. So I always click on summary after I add any filter. And you know what? Somebody asked for a low float a long time ago in the YouTube feed. Are you still there? If you're still there, I do apologize. I know there was a question, low float. Anyway, I'll put a float in here. 30 million. Summary. See, now I did that on, no, I thought I added another zero on purpose, so it would say 300 million. But okay, so there it is. Okay. So now I've started to whittle the universe of stocks down between $5 and $30, double trading at least double normally, volume wise, minimum 500,000 shares with a float of no more. Oh, see, I put at least. So obviously what I really wanted to do was minimize it. Oops. I mean, you could do that if you did not want to see low float, then you could put a minimum float. There we go. See, I wanted to make a mistake, so I accidentally put 300 million in there when I wanted to put 30 million. Okay, so I would go back and just delete it. Okay, and that's why I like to click on the summary tab, just to, you see, and now I only put 3 million. So add a 0. There, 30 million, okay? So let's just stick with these filters. Okay, just a minute, please. Okay, so let's just say I want to stick with these filters. Now you need a trigger. These are what we call AND. Okay, these are AND functions. The stock price is between 5 and 30, and the current volume is at least 2, and the volume today is at least 500,000 shares, and the float is no more than 30 million. You could add as many filters as you want. The more filters you add, the smaller the number of stocks you're going to see, of course. It isn't 3. You're right. See? You see? I'm messing around with myself here. Okay, 30. Okay, there we go, 30 million. Oh, and Aviator, I know you asked a question before. I will get to you. Okay, so now the next step is, okay, now I want an alert. So here are all the alerts that we have, okay? A new high, new low, all these different alerts, okay? Now, typically for my style of trading, I like to see stocks making new highs or new lows. So in this particular case, but you could have, a 5-minute high if what you wanted. New 5-minute high, new 5-minute low. We have a lot of different, 10-minute. I think we have a 10-minute, 10-minute high, 10-minute low, okay? So what trigger alert you pick is up to you. But for this purpose, I'll click on new high, and I'll click on new low. So at this point, look at summary. I now will get an alert if all these filter values are met. I will get an alert anytime a symbol hits a new high or a new low. Very, very simple. And that's basically what this alert window does. I give it a name. Demo for the room, whatever. There we go. Now, the next thing I can do, I should obviously start to add some columns. I could have done that earlier, but now I'll start to add some columns because, I've got the price, I've got the time, the type, new high, but, where is my volume, things like that. So configure columns. Now I can add all these columns. There's a ton of columns. I'm not going to add them all, of course, but well, it is sort of, it is sort of new high and new low in the same strategy. It is. So that relative volume that I was talking about, volume today. See, all I'm doing is I'm just clicking on these alerts and then left arrowing them over. Okay, there's the float. Okay, and here we go. Now, typically, I don't like the description. I don't care about new high or low because I color coordinate these things. So typically, if I see something in green or blue, I know it's a new high for the day. And if it's yellow or orange or some other color, I know it's a new low. Well, it's not for. I don't quite understand, Eric. Okay, this is alerting you to the fact that CSPR just hit a new high. Maybe I'm not understanding the question. If stocks were making a new low, you know, we'd see it. Maybe I'm not understanding the question. Well, if I use this, so I can, you know, this is a new intraday high, okay, but I can determine right here if I want a new, you know, 5-day high or 10-day high or 30-day high, you know, whatever number I put in here. Okay, Dave? That's what that box is for. Oh, I see. Okay, now you're talking about auto trade. Well, even if you auto traded, you're talking about auto trading now. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I see what you. Yeah, I mean, for auto trading, you only want to have one alert. I mean, you could auto trade everything that shows up here, but you're absolutely right. Is, you know, you have to designate your what you're really asking, I think, is, you know, can you have a buy and short in the same strategy? And I guess no. Because I mean, if I want to auto trade that window, I have to designate, is it a long or a short strategy? Now, it will take every single trade in there, even if it showed up as a new low of the day, but it would trade it long. I guess we don't have the relative strength filter. Okay, we have RSI and that's it. It's the relative strength index. We don't have I guess a filter. So if we don't have it, we don't have it. That's why I was saying before. If you wonder if we have anything, you just right click on an alert window, configure, and then search. So the question was RSI, but that is the relative strength index. That's the filter. Yeah, I can answer that question. Yes and no. Dave, it would depend on the strategy, okay? I mean, you know, we're here to help. You know, I'm not the biggest on creating a strategy. Depends how complicated it is. If we don't have the alerts or filters, then there's no way to create it. Okay? So, and this is good for everybody, especially if you have multiple monitors. Okay? If you have multiple monitors, so please listen to what I'm going to tell you and show you. So if you have multiple, but even if you don't, I guess it's a good practice, because what you should do is take your toolbar, and this is only good for the app, not the web, but take your toolbar, stick it in the top left-hand corner of what we'll designate as your main monitor. This is obviously my main monitor. Arrange all your trade ideas windows as you want them, including your charts and all, like everything. Okay? This is what you see in my main monitor. I have two other monitors where I have trade ideas windows. I put them exactly where I want them. Once I've done that, I click on Tools. options, and layouts. So tools from the toolbar, tools, options, layouts. And then I go down to loading layouts and I check open relative to main window, and I save it. Now, when you're done, save it. Okay. When you're done, you should always save your layout, and also, you know, if you just exit and save your layout, that's going to go to your computer as opposed to the cloud. But you know, I do both all the time. Then when you load trade ideas again, every window will be in exactly where you want it. Okay? Does that answer the question? There's no way to move everything. It's not like a container that you can, you know, this is a container and you can move it all at once. But typically that is why people want to do it. Probably, Dave, yes. You know, that's why this basic new highs and lows goes off like crazy in the morning, you know, right off the bat. Meanwhile, that AMRS practice trade I took, not working out too bad. 370 shares. Now, notice I've got up here, oops, see how it's getting closer to that, I can't tell the price. I could tell it in here if I went to orders. At least I should. Oh, I've got two positions open. Why? What I can just start doing here, the price is, looks like it's about 383, which is 50 cents above where I got in. Yeah, that's right. 50 cents above 334 is 380, no, 384, 383. So if I allow, see, there's the so-called target. So if I allowed it to take me out right there, that's where I'd get out. Okay, automatically, it would automatically take me out. And you know, you can see right there, look at that weekly chart. Looks like there's some pretty good resistance here. So why don't I drop it down a bit? Okay, so now it'll take me out of 371, just in case it can't get through this right there. So now I've just done that on the chart. Of course, I could take out, I could obviously take out half right now. I don't have to wait for all this to happen. You know, I could do something like this, you know, take out half my trade. Oops. So I just took out half the trade. So now I've got 185 shares instead of what, 370. Yeah, in that case, Eric, I guess you can't do it. What I just did is, yeah, you can't move all the windows together in a simple fashion like I think you want. Yeah, it's funny, I've never had the need to do that. Not saying it's not a valid question, but you know, I've never had the need to do anything like that. You know, I just rearrange everything where I want them and they just stay there forever. So that is here. If you click on scans, Jeff, and all the scans that I'm sharing, including way more than you see here, of course, on the shared monitor, all the scans that I'm sharing are in here, including the basic highs and lows, which is somewhere down here, I guess. Basic new highs and lows, but you know, just because you're you, Jeff, I will pop it in the room for you. Oops. Okay. Well, now again, Eric, are you talking about auto trading? Okay. Yeah, I mean, you can turn on, the again, you better know what you're doing, all right? But you can turn these, you can turn the AI strategies on here. Sorry, the AI strategies on here, and then you can turn on yours here. There's nothing stopping you from doing that. So if you create your own strategy and have it in the strategy box, you just right click and enable the strategy, turn it on, and then you go to the Holly and you turn on whatever, if you have some ones that you want to trade, you just turn them on. Enable. Okay, see how I turned it on? So yes. Yeah, you can't do it. Unfortunately, you can't do it, Dave. There's no option yet to allow you to increase the color of the, they did it for me so that it would be clearer for people watching my screen. But yeah, look, I'll tell you, I mean, we're not a full-blown charting package. We never have professed to be one. And that's just something that is not available. Hector, you can't answer that. How many strategies do I need to treat? You could, if you have one good one, that's all you need. Question was, how many strategies do I need to trade successfully? I mean, I've been using, I haven't gone over my watch list at all today. I have no idea how it's performed, but it has performed very well. Yeah, there are no trend lines in the web-based version is not as robust. I know I hate keep saying that. The web-based version is not as robust as the app. It's I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is. Let me talk a little bit about the similar tab, okay? I haven't talked about it at all. I know this is going to turn into information overload, but I just think this is a very, very cool feature. You don't have to remember everything. You just have to, you might just say to yourself, "Whoa, wow, that's cool. I'll, I definitely want to look into that." So the single stock window, you click on New from the toolbar, New Single Stock Window. Single stock window, and I'm sharing this one that I have. This is in my opinion, a really powerful little window, okay? I know it takes up a little bit of space, but at a glance, you can see a lot of things that are happening. Okay, you can see the float, and all of these are just filters. These are the ones that I want to see. I want to see where the 200-day moving average is. I want to see where the VWAP is, okay? This is just what I like to see. But we also have a news tab. So you want to find out the news. This is not like a pay news streaming service or anything like that, but it's it's pretty much up to date. This is what I look at in the morning, before the market opens. I'm going through all of the movers, all the stocks that are moving to check to see what the news is. A lot of it I can tell immediately. Earnings date right there. I can tell if it's an earnings play or not immediately. If it's not an earnings play, then I'm going to check the news. Obviously, we've got a lot of virus stocks in the news. This I love. This is fairly new, this similar tab. So there's a toggle here. You see it says competitors and price action. I don't use price action yet. I think we need some more filters in here, but competitors. So what this does is this. So this is how I use it. And this is, again, if you don't have a lot of space, you don't have to do this, but I have space, so this is why I do it. I duplicate this window, and I did it twice. That's why these These windows are showing up, and I leave this on the detail, so, okay. And then what I do is I sort on the change from the close percent column. And I sort it in two ways. So I can see the ones that are up the most, and also I want to see the ones that are down the most. Okay, and all these columns are sortable. It's just a matter of left clicking a couple of times. So, here's obviously the huge winner. This was a, tremendous phase 3 results for Mayock. Didn't do anything, once the market really opened. And this is a big loser. I think this is an earnings play, REPH. Again, it really didn't do anything once the market opened. Oops, let's see what happens here. Yeah. But anyway, what it's doing is it's looking at the sector called pharmaceutical preparation manufacturing. And it's saying, okay, this is the top one in that sector. This is the worst one in that sector, as an example. This is just, I love this sector because this is always a very active sector, okay? Because this is what I now do. But you can look at any sector, but this is a sector I love to follow all day long. Because now once I've got this sector up, I can right click and I pop it out. So I just right click on the window and I pop it out. Now this is a top list window. Now I can start to put filters in here. So, I may only want to see, or I right click, and again, you don't have to remember all this, but just want to show you, and I'm going to give you what I do. But now I can put filters in here because, maybe I like to see stocks under 30. That's just a personal preference. I'll give it a relative volume of a 2. I want the volume to be maybe 250,000 shares. Remember, summary. Okay, so I see what I've done. So now I've been able to take this and I've sort of customized it. So I can say, okay, I've customized it to what I like to see. In this big sector called pharmaceutical preparation. But this is what I add. I'm going to show you how I use it. I love the position in days range. This is probably one of my most favorite filters. This is telling me, and I add this as a column. I'll give you this if you want, but I add this as a column. And I can search on the position in range. That's what that one is. And I could show column, which I've already done, so I don't have to do it again. And then I sort on this column. So I'm seeing now ABEO right at the top of the day. Okay, you can't see, you cannot see even a sliver of white right there. You can see how it might be hard to see, but there's just a little sliver of white there. That means the land is not quite at the high of the day. See, it's not, because you can just see the high of the day is what, 2084, and it's at 2081. I love this column. Okay, I'm going to tell you, I love this column. And then I can scroll down to the bottom and I see the ones that are, APTX. It's near the bottom of the day. But this is probably one of my most favorite filters, the position in the day's range, because I like to see stocks near the high of the day or near the low of the day. That's just me. You don't have to. You might say, well, Barry, geez, I don't like that. I like to see stocks on pullbacks. You could create a position and range filter that's, say, a minimum of 40, max of 60, okay, as an example. In which case you would see, or you could scroll down to see the ones that are, not at the high of the day and maybe have pulled back. There's something that's pulled back to this level here. But anyway, I can give you this if you're interested. Forget to unpin it. Yeah, and I'll show you how to make Suzy Q. I'll show you how to make a watch list. And I love following this one all day long. I mean, if I'm Yeah, so Evrim, no, Brokerage Plus you can use for paper trading or your real broker as long as you have an Interactive Brokers account. It only works with Interactive Brokers if you're going to trade your live account. Okay? Now, of course, this is the pharmaceutical preparations, but what if boy, this Crex has just been a monster all day as I notice, wow. I mean, this was all active before. We do have a sector, I don't think it's going to do what you want though. So no. I mean, I have a sector which I am sharing. These are the sectors that I look at, okay? And this is at the top of the day's range right there, IBB, pharmaceutical, and oil and gas. You can see right there, XLE, XOP, a couple of the energy sectors near the bottom. Okay, this is something that I'm sharing. This is in the scans tab, in the scans tab. Okay, that's what I look at. So I can always at a glance tell what the top sectors and worst sectors are, and also I can see what they're doing in the last 5 minutes. So IBB is moving down a little bit, just a little bit in the last 5 minutes, nothing dramatic. So I mean, and the yellow means that they're down for the day, down from the close on Friday. So we have some blues which are up, but the market's down 238. Oil is really dragging things down. Well, it's there. It's here. TI, it's right here. Scans and spider sector list. Just have to find it, but it's there. Now, the other thing you can do, I forgot to mention, okay, all these scans you see here, in fact, it's probably a good idea. You see this, it's called the room drive. That icon right there looks like a half open folder. If you click on it, ooh, I don't have my shared layout, but everything else is here. Forgot to add it, I think. And you can click on download and everything will go to a Word document, okay, including that spider sector list. Then you can look at everything at your leisure. These links also, these are the webinar links, the training links. Again, all these links, if you click on download, they'll go to a Word document. You can look at everything at your leisure. Okay, this is for the YouTube room. Here you go, Sharif. Oops. Okay, just above where you posted, I lost you here. The link for the pharmaceutical is right above you. Okay, if you can see my screen, there it is. Okay. You get 9 days. It's 10 days. You have a maximum of 10 days if you get to take advantage of today. So I just want to make sure people completely understand that. We're not trying to pull a fast one or anything like that, okay? So this is a 10-day trial, yes, if you can take advantage May 11th to May 22nd. If you start tomorrow, then it'll be 9 days. Still, I mean, it's going to cost you, it'll still cost you $8.99. And here it is. Here's that test drive link. Well, you cannot create a strategy for the AI, okay, Sean? The strategies are already created. They're all proprietary. Yeah, we still do. We still have a late start, but it'll only be, we actually are going to take people all the way to next Wednesday. You have to remember, David, in the old days, until last November, it used to only be a 5-day trial. Now it is a 10-day trial, so Well, all you have to do is click on that link that I put there, David. I just put the link. Okay, I just put the link right there, test drive link. There's no way to write your own filters. No, I mean we do have. We do have a little bit of customization that you can do using existing data points that we have and combining them in different ways. Okay, but if you're asking, first of all, for instance, EMAs, we don't have EMAs. It's that simple. Okay, as an example. But if you wanted, something that is not available as our standard filter as a data point, you can't do it. I mean, I can tomorrow, the link right below where you just type, where's the link? I'm going to try to pronounce your name correctly. Gerardo. Gerardo? Probably a little too hard on the D. I know it's not Gerardo. That I do know. Okay, Susie, you asked before. You asked before about creating a symbol list. Okay, so, and I'm obviously you can hear me, and can you see me? No, not see me. You can see what I'm going to do? Okay. All right. This is how I do it, all right? If you're going to create a symbol list or a watch list, this is what I do. I first create the alert window, okay? Well, I don't teach trading though. I'm just going to interrupt here. I don't teach trading, Oladell, okay? I don't teach, here's the candles you should be looking. I mean, I can show you a little bit what I do, okay? But I don't call that teaching. I mean, it's pretty simple stuff that I do. But I don't teach candlestick trading or, pattern recognition or anything like that. So I don't know what you mean by teaching exactly. I try to explain how tomorrow if things die down a little bit, I don't know how much they're going to die down, but if they die down a little bit. Okay, Susie. So this is what I do. I first start off with an alert window or a top list window, okay? And because if you're going to create a watch list or a symbol list, you have to have a way to monitor it. Okay? Make sense? So first to create your alert window with the filters and okay, the filters that you want in either a top list window or an alert window. Does that make sense? Because if you're going to, okay, good. So let's just say I create this alert window, with these filters in. I've created this stock price between 1 and 30, on and on and on, new high, new low. Okay. Now what I want to do is I want to create a symbol list that'll be monitored right here. Now, typically, I probably have a different, but only you can figure out, what filters you want. But basically, you do this: symbol list. Click on symbol lists. Create new. Give it a name. I'm going to call it. You got it, Susie Q. Good old Creedence Clearwater Revival. And then you say OK, and now you have this box will pop up. And now you can either, if you have a list of symbols that you were able to, a column of symbols in which you were able to copy, then you can paste them in. Otherwise, you'll have to, type them in one by one. I'll just type in one symbol. I don't know why I always type in Macy's, but okay, I say okay. Now, most of the time, I guess it didn't work this time. I don't know why, but okay, if you don't see that symbol list that you just created over in this left-hand column, no spaces or commas. It's just a straight line, okay? Straight row. column, not row. column, okay? Now, if you don't see it here, then you have to go add existing list. Now, if you've never done one before, you'll see it immediately. Okay, I'm going to find it. I have to go down and find it. There you are, Susie Q. Okay, so I left click on it, and now it moves over here. See how it moved over? So you just have to find it. If it's not over here to start, then you just have to find it and left click it, and it'll move over here. Okay? And then you just check it. This is a drop-down menu, only the following list. Check it, Susie Q. Okay? And then if I said okay again, that would mean that, you know, it's only one symbol in there, that Macy's would be attached to this alert window. Okay? Now, it's a symbol list that now, once you've created it, you can attach it to as many stop lists or alert windows as you want. Does that make sense? Or did I go too quickly? Because now there's another step. Because at some point you'll probably want to edit your list. You know, you will want to get rid of some symbols, add some in. Okay. So assuming that all made sense. Oh, cancel out. ITA, is it a... Should be able to. It's just an ETF. We have it. I don't see why you can't. Aerospace ETF. I don't see why not. I mean, you are allowed to add ETFs. Well, that might be because you have some, you know, filters in place that are not, you know, it's a $150 stock as an example. First of all, I have to make, I have to make sure I don't want that symbol list, of course, attached. Okay, it's not attached. I don't know why it wouldn't, unless you have some kind of a filter that's not allowing it to show up. Okay, how to place, okay, so let me answer G 254's question first. Well, I mean, you can create what we call one-click trading, okay? I don't know if it's exactly what you would... Maybe try a restart. I mean, I'm not, you know, I've never tried with, I have to admit, I've never tried with an ETF, but I don't see why. I promise I will show you how to put a stop in, okay? Just give me a moment here, okay? Hungry kitty. So, you know, what I went through before, I mean, they're not hotkeys in Brokerage Plus other than to get out of a trade. You know, using these flatten, half, double, reverse and all. But one-click trading is easy to set up, so it's not exactly hotkeys, but you can set up your own trading parameters and just click. Okay? Okay, Flying Dutch. How to place a stop order. So are you saying, for instance, and let me get out of, I'm just going to flatten out of everything. So are you talking about if you manually take a trade and then you want to place a stop order? I know I glossed over that, G244. Okay, good. I can answer that question, Flying Dutch. So let's just take a trade. This is very, very manually taking a trade. I look at JMIA. Let's take a couple of hundred. Let's take 200 shares. I'm looking at the market 577, 579. That's not a bad spread. I'm just going to buy it. Okay, just going to go ahead and buy it. See, it took the trade. Now here's where I can place a stop. Say I want to place a stop at 553. Just literally just go to the stop price. Right there, just in the stop price box, and then I click sell, done. Okay, so there it is. I'm sorry, I put a stop price of 573 and set it down here, okay, but now I can actually move it down. Okay, so does that make sense? So basically, once you've taken the trade, then you just go to the price you want to stop out at and put it in the stop price box and click sell. It'll show up right on the chart. You know, so even though I kind of made a mistake, I put it up here. I just dropped it down here. Now, of course, you can do anything you want right on the chart. Move it up, move it down. I don't think you can do it in the simulator. I think in Brokerage Plus you can do it if you're connected, but I don't think you can. I don't think you can. I mean, I can put a target here. So if it hits the target, it's going to get rid of that stop. Okay. So I can put a target. I know what you mean. The one cancels other. I do understand. Not in the simulator. You can. I think what we're really trying to do is to get people used to maybe using right on the chart, placing your stops. Okay, because honestly, I guess if you're going to walk away from the system, from your computer, and you want to let it run and take you out automatically, but honestly, what does it mean by a 1% stop? I mean, I don't know what it means, but there's no math there. I mean, there's no real, call it science behind it. Whereas I think there is a little bit of science behind raising your stop right on the chart to areas that make sense, that if it goes to this area, you should stop yourself out. Hey, Susie Q. A little applause. Because here, I mean, if I go to my strategies, okay, but I don't think they work in the simulator. And you can see risk management, trailing stops, okay? I just don't think it works in the simulator. You know, this is always grayed out. Yeah, this is always grayed out. So I think when you connect to your IB account, if that's what you wanted to do, you're able to do it. But in the simulator, it is grayed out. Do I have MLND on my watch list? Let's see if I do have it on the MLND or MNLO. Let me tell you a little bit about my watch list also, okay? You know, which I haven't talked about really at all, other than here it is, okay? Just so you understand what I'm doing with this watch list. The stocks that you see here and here, but here and here, my watch list has maybe, I don't know, 30, no, there's no recording of this. Unless somebody said the YouTube feed is recorded. I'm not sure. I didn't think it was, but maybe it is. It is really. The whole thing? I don't think you want to listen. I mean, that's 7 hours. With 7 hours, man. Well, fast forward to what though? Okay. Where was I? My watch list. So just to talk about a little bit about my watch list and why I think it's a really good thing for people to, especially if you're new to trading, even if you're not new to trading, I'm finding that it's, I'll blow my own horn. I think it's a great watch list. So this is what I do. So these are the alerts that came from today's watch list, okay? My watch list has about 30 odd stocks, maybe 35, I'm not sure, I haven't counted. But these are the only ones that triggered. Why did these trigger out of the watch list? This is on the short side, this is on the long side. So they met certain filter requirements. If you right click, configure, so the current volume is, so it's trading at least normally. Volume is at least 150,000 shares. This is one of the key ones. This position in yesterday's range. That's what that P means, previous. So it has to be above yesterday's high, as an example. Okay. Now, I put a delay of 15 minutes. You notice that nothing shows up. Oh, I guess I must have... I must. Oh, that's right. I reloaded all this. Okay, so I'm not seeing the original ones right from the beginning, but you would see that nothing will show up in these two windows until at least 9:45 Eastern time. That's what this does. I do that just to kind of let things settle in a little bit. It's not that everything is settled down, but just a little bit. So this is what triggered from the current watch list. Once the market closes today, so after 4 o'clock, when the market is closed, I will take my watch list and I'll go through every stock one by one, and I'll take a look at this daily, weekly, and monthly charts. That's why they're here. And then I'll make a determination of whether I think any stock on today's watch list could be carried forward to tomorrow. How do I do that? Well, I want to see, is there still room for a stock to keep moving, or on the daily, weekly, or monthly time frame. So for instance, if I look at PHIO as an example, so you see the trigger was at 266. It really hasn't moved. And there obviously, if you look at this, there's some resistance right around here. Why I kept this on this watch list is just in case, day after day, I might have this on the watch list, because if this ever breaks 3, look at the room left. Look at where it could go. I'm not saying it's going to. So that's why it was on the watch list, okay? Not necessarily even, for today being a great alert, unless, we woke up this morning and it had already gapped up through 3, as an example. I know if you're a new trader, you're probably saying, what the heck is he talking about? But TLSA. Let's see, another one that might be more dramatic. ABIO, ABEO. I mean, there's room. You look at that weekly chart, there is room for this to keep moving up to that 4 level. From 326 to 4, that's a pretty good percentage increase. You would expect a lot of things to stop right there. Let's see AQST to see if it, I just want to, so here's one, it's going to be pretty extended on that weekly. But if I look left on that weekly chart, there's room till maybe 660. There's not a lot of room left. What I call a lot of room. Anyway, the bottom line is this. I'll go through every one of these, every one of the stocks that is on my watch list. Current watch list, and I'll make a determination, do I think a stock could be carried forward to tomorrow? Then I have a bunch of scans, several scans that I look at, again, once the market is closed, and then I'll go through the same exercise, looking at the daily, weekly, monthly. and whether or not I think a stock should be on tomorrow's watch list. So that's basically what I do. You don't have to do anything. All you have to do is follow, if you want, the everything that is triggered from the watch list. And this is part of the shared layout now. Okay, so again, and why I like to sort of do it like this. This is the repeating version. I'll explain. So I began again because I had to reload trade ideas, or because I did reload trade ideas. I'm not seeing the original alerts, but this tells me at 12:14 it made an alert at 32.29. That was the price. What did it do since then? Okay, what did it do since then? As an example, now I don't know if this alerted earlier in the day. I really don't know because I had to reload. But that's why I like to see it like this, because then I can go back and say, okay, there was the alert, there was the price, there was the time. What has it done since? And this is on the downside. Again, these are going to look late because I had to reload. So a lot of these will probably had been more around between 9:45 and 10. Yes, I can. I can do that. I can select history, but I'm too tired. No, seriously. Yes, I could do the history thing, but I'm just sort of more explaining why I like to have the organized like this. Whereas this one is the repeating version. You will see this stock over and over and over again. Okay, as it makes new highs or new lows. Here in this one, you'll only see the very first time it triggered. What indicators am I using for day trading? I really don't use very many. I mean, again, that's just me. I was asked the question, what indicators do I use? I mean, because most of the alerts that I get are, making a new high or a new low for the day. Consequently, I'm not having to worry about intraday resistance. That's when I'm always looking at these higher time frames. Is there still room for a stock to move? Now, I'm always aware what the 200-day moving average is. If a stock is close, then I'm not going to take the trade. That's probably the number one indicator. But after that, it's mainly as Aviator is saying, it's price and volume. I mean, if I saw a stock making a new high from a bit of a consolidation and it popped, but if it only popped on 2 shares, I'm not gonna look at it. But if I saw a nice big volume bar and it was popping, then I'm going to get very interested. As an example. Did you just subscribe? Because it might take about half an hour, okay, Gerardo? It might take about half an hour. Yeah, repeating is it's an option with an alert window. If you right click and go to properties and, well, in this case, because of the way I've got it, but if I right click and go to properties and then don't repeat. So I actually have this on don't repeat for a minute, okay? But this is a drop down menu. So I could don't repeat for 1 minute, 5 minutes, 15, 30, for an hour, or for the day. That's why this doesn't repeat, okay? I've got it on for the day. But you can pick whatever time frame you want. And this is good because sometimes you get a very active, very, very active window. You're just getting too many alerts. And so you say, you know what, don't repeat for a while. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that is just... Yeah, it's because I'd have to, if I reloaded, I would see it, I'm sure. Let me just do it. I see. Yeah. So yeah, there must have been something that was not up. Was not. I see now it's changing. I think we had a problem first thing in the morning, and had I reloaded it, this would have been fine. Sorry about that. So I see what you're talking about, George. And you want my layout? Sure. Okay, there is my shared layout. Okay, Lawson? That's in the YouTube feed. Okay, flying timer. Intraday, no. There's only, I'm not sure if they've done this yet. I think what they're wanting to do also is to set, because I think the default is $100,000 in the, is $100,000 with Brokerage Plus as a paper trading module, okay? And some people, what I ask for is, okay, what really should happen? I think actually, do I have this on auto trading? No. I said, you know what? Why don't we allow people to say, if you only have a $25,000 account or a $10,000 account, then that's what you should be able to assign in your Brokerage Plus window. $100,000. I mean, that looks great. You might do some paper trading, and it might just give you a false sense of what would really happen. Yeah, but during the day, no. Flying timer, no. It'll reset tomorrow, though. Okay, I mean that's the whole thing, isn't it? Just make sure you exit your trades. Okay, exit your trades. Flatten out, and everything will. Otherwise, if you don't exit your trades, then they'll carry forward to tomorrow. But that would almost be cheating, right? I mean, if we're going to use the paper trader the way it should be, you can't start. I'm just not talking to you, but I mean, you can't start thinking, oh well, that's a terrible trade, so I'm going to get rid of that one. And I'm going to get rid of that one, and only keep your best trades and give you, again, a false sense of security. Whew. By the way, the Dreamer, thanks for helping. I know that you try to help a little bit here. Some of the tech questions, some of the things I don't even know. I had no idea you could pin the brokerage because I always would just go. I'm sorry, my Brokerage Plus. I had no idea you could pin it. I had no idea in Windows that's. I would not have thought to look at it. Aviator, you asked me a question a long time ago. I don't know if you're still in the room. If I can, I'll try to answer you. I know you asked me a question a long time ago. Sort of, Vicky. I'm not sure if one of them is the under 20. I know what they're also doing though is they're using the VWAP stop now instead of something. Well, no, you won't see AI under 20. No, it won't be labeled like that. So Aviator, I know you had a question. What is it? Is it still horizontal buy and sell arrows, part of premium? Are you talking about these guys right there, like as an example? No. Are you talking about in previous? Are you talking about, okay, so you're talking about, okay. You're talking about this arrow right there, that buy arrow as an example in REPH? That's part of standard, if that's what you're talking about. This is just alerting you to previous AI alerts. So and it's part of the standard package. Okay, did that answer your question? That is correct. They don't show up in today's alerts. Exactly. No. If you had the AI, you know, this is how it would look. Yeah, you'd see a down arrow because this was a short. You would see in the y-axis the actual alert price, and because again this is a short, and there was a stop up here, so that is in the y-axis. And you would only see this if you have our premium service, yes. But the previous AI alerts you will see on a weekly or a monthly chart. It's not showing up here because I may have turned them off. Yeah, see, I turned it off. See, sometimes you can get really crazy. You know, the AI was all over this one for a while. Previous AI alerts will show up on standard, yes. Well, everybody, are there any other questions? I'm sure there are some questions. I will stick around. Okay, traders. So a very cool filter that we have. We have a lot of position and range filters. Okay, and so at a glance, you know, for instance, this one, REPH, at a glance, I can tell where REPH is on multiple time frames. So for instance, you know, it's at the low, when it's right over, it's a low of the 5-day, it's a low of the 20-day, low of the year, low of the last 3 months, almost at the low of 2 years. There might be just a sliver of white. I can't quite see that. And it's not quite at a lifetime low because there's a little bit of white there, okay? There it is in the position in today's range. Because it's red, it means it's below 50%. And there it is in the position in the 60-minute range. Okay? So that is a very quick. That is part of, if you click on the room drive icon up here and share scans that I share download, that is I am now sharing the single stock window. Okay. But maybe just I'll do it right now. Getting a bit of a delay here. There we go. So here is this is just mine, okay? These are just the filters that I like to see. I mean, other people might want to see more financial information, you know, cash on hand, debt, all that stuff. I don't care, you know, about that as much as other people might. Well, I don't know about a manual Flying Dutch, okay? I still think the videos, the 20 and 20, I mean, if you don't like those, then I'm not sure how I can help you. I mean, they're very quick little snippets, how to create an alert window, how to create a top list window, how to create this and that. No, right here. I'll answer your question, Ron. And how to add news. You don't have to add it. If you don't have news, boy, you must be in a very, very old version of Trade Ideas. This is nothing to add, it's just automatic. Let me just give you the link for the 20 and 20. Okay, there's the link for 20 and 20. And they're just very quick. They're just very quick little videos. So I see 23, 23, 23. So yeah, you need if you don't have this or the similar tab, please download the last, excuse me, the latest version of Trade Ideas. I can pop that link in here. Oops. Okay, there's the latest. So there you can get the latest version of Trade Ideas, which will have the similar tab. New, boy, you're in a really old version. Okay, Ron. Yes, Gerardo. Yes, the momentum is easiest thing to do is to click on that room drive icon. Okay, hopefully you can see that, and then scans that I share and download. Then you can see everything at your leisure. All like momentum up and down, they are in there, okay? So Ron, where are you? How to transfer between monitors. Okay, so what do you mean by transfer exactly? Are you talking about being able to take this, say all of this and just moving it over onto another monitor? I have to know what you mean by transfer. Yeah, you can't, if you, for instance, if you wanted to take these three all at once and move them over, no. You have to move them one at a time. You have to move them one at a time if that's what you want to do. What I do though, of course, is this is my main monitor and I have my other Trade Ideas windows on my other two monitors. Once I have them all set where I want them, then I just click on Tools, Options. Oh, well, one at a time, sure. You just grab it and move it. Just grab it and move it. So you just left click on it and then move it. Shortcut to zoom, and I don't know if it's a shortcut, but JJ Coop, are you using the app or are you using the web-based version? If you're on the web, it won't work. Can't move. Yeah. No, JJ, I'm talking to Ron. Ooh, and you're on the web-based version. Oh man. Okay, let me see. Oh, you're on the app. Okay. You guys are confusing me. Okay, Ron, if you're on the web-based version, no, I see what you're talking about. Yeah, that's one of the, it's one of the limitations. Okay, so JJ, you're on the app. What was your question? Okay, so if you left click on a chart, left click on the chart. You have to left click first, just so the Trade Ideas, the program knows what chart you're on, okay? So you left click on the chart, keep the control key pressed down on your keyboard, and then with your mouse, your scroll wheel on your mouse, just scroll in and out. Okay? Let me make sure that works for you, JJ, okay? Ah, good, okay. Yeah, so I'm just going to load the web. Yeah, so if I take this window and start moving it, yeah, it first of all, it's not going to move out of this container at all. You know, now of course I can take the whole thing and move it over. But yeah, if I wanted to take this window and move it, you know, onto my other monitor, I can't do it. Okay, so Femi, how to activate, you have to designate one of your long strategies. I hope you've got a long strategy here. Oops. Please tell me you've created a long strategy in Brokerage Plus. If you do, I will love you forever. Because basically what has to happen is you have to create, okay, that's okay. You have to create a long strategy or a short strategy, okay, but you have to create a long strategy within Brokerage Plus. So you can do it if you have an alert window. You can make sure you save your alert window to the cloud, and then you would right click and load from the cloud, and then if you saw it, hopefully you would see it, you would click on it and load it, okay? Once you do that, it would show up here, okay? If you want to create something from scratch, then again, in your strategy tab in Brokerage Plus, you have Brokerage Plus open, I hope. Okay, and you have to have the strategies tab open. I haven't taken any trade today, Hector. I haven't had any chance to take any trade today. So you have to have the strategies tab. If you don't have, okay, then click on the strategies tab, right click, and new trading strategy. Give it a name. Is it long? Is it short? And then here is where you start filling in the information. Okay, I'm going to show you what I do for my chart strategy, okay? So that's why I'm not going to go over this right now. So obviously what I did was I created a strategy called chart long $100 risk. I just, from the new trading strategy, I gave it a name. That name, I designated as a long. Then the order details and risk management. Now, this is what I do. You don't have to do the same thing. But order details, position sizing, based on a stop loss. This is a drop down. I'm encouraging people to base everything on a stop loss. And in the simulator, I'm risking $100 a trade. So if the trade goes against me, I don't want to lose more than 100. Risk management. This is another drop down, and I'm using a filter. And this is a huge drop down, but just find, I would encourage you to start using the VWAP stop. This is what we're starting to use in our AI. Okay. Then you could put an offset, like what this offset 50 cents means is that if the trade starts working well, and I want to have the system automatically take me out of the trade 50 cents above where I got in. This is where I can put that. I don't have a hold time, but you can actually set it up for a swing trade if you want, or specific hold time. I don't. I manage the trades on my own. So now once you've done that, created your trading strategy, then you have to take one of your long alerts and designate it as the way in which you want to use the buy button on the chart. Default chart long strategy. Okay, so now when I click on the buy button on the chart, it's going to follow these rules that I created. Okay, that's now you can pick any long strategy you want, but I named one chart long $100 risk. That makes sense to me. I always know that's what I'm going to be using when I use the buy button on the chart. And then all I have to do is just click on the buy button. And it took the trade, okay? And that was it. It took the trade using the buy button. It took ref 154 shares. Why 154 shares? Because if I multiply the difference between the entry and the stop, the stop price 444, which was based on that VWAP stop, 510 minus 140 minus 444 times 154 shares will give me approximately $100. Because remember I said I want to only lose, if I can, $100 on the trade if it goes against me. So if I let this thing just run automatically without any interaction, and I let it take me out at 444, I'd lose $100. If I let it take me out at the target, I would make 76. Okay, this is just a demonstration. Again, a lot to take in, but we got a lot of time. I put 50 cents, okay? I mean, you can do anything you want. I put 50 cents. I mean, again, I don't use a target. I only put 50 cents in here because people have asked, can you put a target? Okay? So that's the only reason that it's there. And as always, I can go to the chart and I can start moving my stop up and down. I can move my target up and down. Okay? Right on the chart. Nick 33. Did you save your layout to the cloud first? Ugh. Ugh. All right, there may be a way. I'm going to have to put another, because, a layout, you can only have one layout loaded at a time. Was it something you created though? Was it something that you created, or was it the sort of the default layout that maybe TradeIdeas has? It's been so long since I've looked at a default layout. Okay. Then it should be available unless, so if you, the thing is that if you want my layout and you want to see it over and over again, you don't want to save it as a default, okay? Basically, give your layout a name. So if, like the layout that you see as an example, you just file, save, or share to cloud, entire layout, give it a name, and then save it. So it's a different name. So you call it Nick 33's test drive layout as an example, okay? Give it a different name. Give your layouts different names so you can bring them back at any time that you might want. Now the default, so did you save my layout to the default layout by any chance? Okay, well if you didn't save it, then it should be available. Load layout. It's been so long since I've done this. I don't even know where to find the default layout. It actually even defaults to default layout open. I'm not sure. There's default layout, so maybe you just have to click on that default layout. But make sure if you want my layout, save my layout to the cloud, okay? So I think all you have to do, hopefully, is file, load layout, and then just find it, default layout. Okay, click on it and then open. But again, before you do that, if you want my layout, save it to the cloud. can't find the menu now. Now, are you talking about, okay, let me try to walk you through this. First of all, you're on the app. You're on a PC and you've downloaded, so you have an app or the toolbar that looks like this. Oh, good. Okay. So you have a toolbar that looks like this. I will answer your question. How would you delete? I will answer your question if you want to hang around, Dave. Okay, so you have this. So when you click on File, Load Layout, do you not see something, you know, because I mean, these are a lot of layouts that I've created. Do you not see something that says default layout eventually? If you scroll down, that says default layout. Because if you haven't overwritten it, I mean, I think this is what you're talking about is the standard layout. So again, if you click from the toolbar, File, Load Layout, and scroll to where it says Default Layout and highlight it and open it. Does that not work? If that doesn't work, I'm going to have to send you to tech support because it's in the Trade Ideas Pro. I see. See, this just comes up automatically for me. It's in the Trade Ideas Pro. You know, for me, you know, Documents Trade Ideas Pro. If you even typed in the you know Explorer search default underscore layout dot LTI, that should find it for you also, and then it'll get you into the right folder. Does that make sense? Let me just try that before I say. You got it. Good. Okay. Good. No, very happy. Very happy. Okay, so Dave, to delete a strategy, so you've created some strategies. Okay, good. Yeah, I'm just going to say delete. Delete trading strategy. Okay. Not that I know, Bill. I mean, we had the odd person who can't either hear me or see. Have you not been in the room before and had the same issue? Or I'm sorry if. Exactly, J-O turn E. Exactly. It's a great watch list. You know, people get very hung up on, well, I got the Holly alert at $9.68 and it's already $9.72. Okay? I mean, first of all, they're not designed for little quick, 2-cent trades. So I would not get so hung up. You know, I haven't really unfortunately been able to really look at Holly too much today, but yes, you're absolutely right. It can be a great watch list. No, the A does not trigger outside of regular market hours. No, only from, well, very few late alerts also, but it'll start at no earlier than 9:30. 9:35. Most of them are done by noon. You know, I mean, I can see here. You know, if I clicked on entry, oh, so here's one, 3:04, 12:15. But most of them are done by noon. Oh, good to hear. I'm glad. All right, everybody. Are there any other questions? Oh, the swing channel. Okay, well, there's really nothing I can say about it. I mean, other than, I mean, you load it and, I mean, it's called the swing channel, okay? And really, it's a matter of you're loading it and then taking a look at the alerts you're getting from it, okay? It's just a matter of looking at the alerts. I mean, they're not all going to be. Let me just load it. I just want to make sure I've got. There we go. Let me just load the swing channel. I haven't looked at it forever, but let's take a look at it. Where I don't even. There we no trending. Where is the swing? Swing ideas. Okay. I knew it. Forgot this. Just a second. Okay, so the swing channel as an example. Okay, so ESPR. So what I'd be doing is I'd be loading them and seeing, okay, what is the AI? What is this looking at? Well, I can see right here, and I'm not saying you take the trade or anything, because it does require some trading background, if you will. But you can see why ESPR, if it wants to keep going, I mean, look at the room it has on that weekly chart. So we're sitting at 48.22. There it could possibly. I'm not saying it's going to. It's over the 200-day moving average now. So there are some interesting things about ESPR as an example. No, it's just because of the test drive. Don't get used to this, Nagra J. Okay, so it's really a matter of are they all going to look like that? I have no idea. There's AY. So, I mean, you can see that if AY can get over this little hump here, which is not that far away, it has a chance to start getting into this area here. Okay, does that make sense? So, I mean, it's just a matter of really taking a look at these. I don't know what else is, there's ESPR. Okay. Okay, everybody. I don't see any other questions, so I think maybe I will wrap it up. It's 4 o'clock, so that's about it for me, guys. So I know it's a lot to take in. If you're brand spanking new, I get it. Don't get too overwhelmed. Okay, we'll be talking about this for 10 days. I'm not saying that after 10 days you'll know everything. But I think if you really take a look at those 20 for 20, this right here, 20 lessons in 20 days. At least it'll give you a good overview of, very quickly. Okay, so John. Okay, when you say save your main layout, did you save your main layout to the cloud? Like, what is your main layout? Are you talking my layout as an example? The one that I've been sharing? Did you save it? Tell me you saved it. Ah, good. All right. Then you can load it. Okay. Did you save it to the cloud? Give it another name, save it to the cloud, or did you save it to the cloud? Okay, no problem. So so load from the cloud, file load from cloud, find it, load it. Your channel, your layout and your channel will disappear, but that's fine. Okay, and then once you've done that, then I would just file. When you exit, just save the layout. Yes, and then tomorrow when you load trade ideas, my layout, as you've modified it, will load. Yeah, I just saw that, by the way. I just saw the AKBA. I have it thumbnailed on another chart. Yes, yes. Looking at charts does make your layout disappear. That's why you have to save your layout to the cloud. Okay, you have to save your layout to the. Yeah, I know it didn't. How good a user are you, John? Yeah, fresh. I can't tell you how to do it. Okay, it can get you into trouble. Maybe by the end of the week, you'll have to keep bringing your layout back. Okay, as long as you saved it to the cloud and you just keep bringing it back. See what once you start using trade ideas a lot, you won't use the channel bar that much. Okay, right now it's cool because you want to see the different channels and you want to, test them out. I completely get that. And then once you're done, just bring my layout back. But you were very perceptive to notice that my layout does not disappear. You're right. And there is a bit of there's a way to do it. Yeah, you can do. Yeah, But you see, Julio, what he wants is he saw that when I was loading channels and everything that, my layout was not disappearing, and I do not want to get into pinning. I mean, you can put your layout, in the channel bar up here. You can do that. But right now, as long as you make sure you've saved it to the cloud, so yeah, it's a little more of a step. You can put it up here though. Let me go over that tomorrow. All right, Trader Sam, I'm only going to see. Okay, do you have, if you right click on a window, okay, is it pinned? Because that sometimes is the reason why you've got a bunch of pinned windows. And for instance, if you look in your Brokerage Plus window, are there a bunch of Brokerage Pluses underneath it? No. Okay. And if you right click on a window, so you're saying you don't. Okay, then what I just for fun, when you go to if you click on Windows, okay, from the toolbar, and if you click Close All Pinned Windows, what happens? I just want to see what happens. If nothing happens to your layout, that means you don't have any pinned windows. But I just want to see if that's what happens. So close all pinned windows, not all unpinned. Pinned windows. Close all pinned windows from Windows. Close all pinned windows. Anything happen to your layout? Hmm. Something's going on. What you see right underneath file? You see even mine has gone crazy. But what does it say? If it's under 100, then it's fine. But what is yours saying? I've got 58 right there. But what is yours saying? So that's a little high. No, mine is jumping. It might be after hour stuff that's happening, but typically it's because you've got pinned windows. But That's just the speed, and that's just how fast. Yeah, connectivity. In essence, yes. Hector, well, there are no webinars this week. Oh, so even if it was pinned, Julio, it doesn't matter. You can't have multiple underneath. Okay, I didn't think so, but hey, I didn't even know that I had it pinned. The after hours tool. Okay, let's just say, well, guys, I might as well stick around to see what's happening here. After hours. So post market action. Are you on the web or are you on the app? Because I know there are certain channels that are not available on the web. So you don't see post market action? I don't know how that happens, but okay. So let's just indulge me. If you click on account and you do a reset and then try again, see what happens. Try doing a reset. And you're sure? Did you ever see it before? I mean, it's right at the very bottom. It's right at the very bottom. I don't know how it disappears. How about other ones? You see infrastructure and volume and options and all that. Like what are you missing? And you're sure? I mean, I'm not trying to insult your intelligence. You're sure you scrolled all the way down? See, I don't even see penny stocks. See, I don't even see. No, I'm sorry. You're right. There's penny movers. Okay, you're right. The last one is China. This is for fun. The heck is China? There it is. And again, you are on the app. It's not the web-based version. I know you said you're definitely on the app. Because I know the web-based version doesn't have as many. Okay. Well, I don't know what to say. The only other thing I can think of doing is reloading trade ideas, okay? I know I asked you to do a reset, but just try reloading, okay? Exit, make sure you save everything to the cloud. But just and then just load again. If it still is not there, I really have no idea. So exit and reload again and let me know if it's there. That's very weird. Yeah, I asked him. I to make sure that he's right to the bottom. But he says he's used it before, so I'm assuming that he hasn't done something like this. Well, I mean, obviously, you know enough to do hopefully all the way down. But you say you've used it before, so I'm assuming you're moving all the way down. Because if it's stopping at China, that means you're not getting anything under China, which it's hard to understand. And also, yeah, as Julio was saying, just close it down and go new and open it again. Channel bar, open it again. Okay, good. Guys, I'm out of here. We'll do this tomorrow at 9 o'clock, okay? So I encourage you to watch the 20 and 20. I'll put it right here, the 20 lessons in 20 days. I'll put it one more time in here. And also in the YouTube feed. I'll give you guys a second, excuse me, to load this. I mean, like anything else, guys, it's, you know, if you want to get the most out of everything, you have to put a little bit of work. And I don't think that this is a, you know, I think to watch these 20 lessons in 20 days, and again, it says, you know, it's sort of a catchy thing. The videos are not that long. You can do it, you know, a couple of days, I'm sure. And not everything is going to be necessarily what you want to see, so you don't have to see all 19 or all 20 of them. Does it work on a Mac? Yes and no. You can use the web-based version, the bank, okay? Or better, if you don't mind using an emulation program like Parallels, okay? Because if you use an emulation program, then you'll have access to Brokerage Plus. What is it? Well, it just allows you to use PC programs on your Mac. It's called Parallels. There are others, but I mean, most of the people seem to use Parallels. I don't use Trade Ideas after hours to be. Well, I shouldn't say that. I scan. I've got my scans. No, it will not work on a Mac soon. You can use the web-based version, okay? It just doesn't have everything. It doesn't have Brokerage Plus. I mean, it's very good, but it just is not quite as robust as the app. So I absolutely use Trade Ideas after hours. I have a bunch of scans that I look at. For the web-based version? Okay. Are you part of the test drive? Oh, okay. Just let me get the download. Okay. Oh, okay. How do I sort stocks? Okay, let me just... Okay, so there's the download link, okay? The bank, there's the download link. And it'll bring you to... So I click on that, and it'll bring you to this page. And right at the top here it says TI for the web, which Julio I don't think should be there. Because there are people who have been doing that, not realizing that they're not in the app. I know it sounds like it should be obvious, but you know, I think that the app should be the first one. Anyway, there it is, TI Pro for the web. So when you say, how do you sort the stocks? In where, Coimbra? Where exactly? Are you talking about here in, say, the AI window as an example? No. Darn. Okay, give me an example of where you want to sort something. In a top list window? Like a top list window? No. Well, if you're talking about here, I mean, understand how this is supposed to work. I mean, you're getting a real-time alert at the time, and most people want to see the latest one right on the top here. The Akebia? You're talking about a. Okay. Okay, but I don't. I mean, it's as it here. It is as a chart. I don't see it in an alert window. I mean, I've loaded it in the chart. Ah, okay. No, that's okay. That's okay. So you're talking like this one right here. Okay. So in this window here, you have very few columns, okay? So to sort, say the change from the close, you basically, let's say I wanted to sort on the relative volume, okay? You basically double click a couple of times, double click, where? Okay, you double click a couple of times, but I have sorted on the change from the close, okay? Basically double click and you'll see the change from the close, so you'll see the ones that are up the most as an example. Oh, good. Good. And that, and you know, I mean, that's like any top list window, you know, double clicking. So yeah, I've got it on the position from the range, but what if I wanted to see the stocks that are up the most? You know, it happens to be at the top of the range too, but things like that, okay? And if you double click a couple of times, you'll see the ones that are, see right there, they're the ones down the most, 39%, 10%, okay? How do I tie the windows to the top bar so I can drag to a different display? Okay, you cannot do that, Bill, but maybe this is going to help. How many monitors do you have? Okay, so you've got the same number of monitors that I have, all right? So this is what I do. Because I think really the question is, when you load trade ideas tomorrow, you don't want to have to go through the exercise of having to move all your trade ideas windows around to where you want them in all your monitors. Is that really the question? Good. So this is what you do. Take your toolbar, and please tell me you're using the app and not the web-based version. Okay. Yeah, not really, Bill. I mean, the only thing I can, okay, stick around. I'm gonna like it's trade ideas can't help you. Okay, I'm gonna have to try to contact the developer of the room. Okay, and see if he can help. But so stick around. Okay, and I'll give you hopefully an email address. Okay, so with the app, Bill. So just put your toolbar in the top left-hand corner. Get all your windows on your, and you're going to designate that one as your main monitor. You know, like I do. This is the main monitor, my main monitor. And I put all my windows exactly where I want them. I rearrange my other trade ideas windows exactly where I want them on my other monitors, okay? So I put them there. Once I've got them all where I want, then click on Tools, Options, Layouts. So Tools, Options, Layout. So from the Trade Ideas toolbar, Tools, Options, Layouts. You see where it says check or loading layouts? If you check Open relative to main window and then you save it, and then when you exit, make sure you save your work and all that and save it. When you exit Trade Ideas and come back, all your windows will be exactly where you want them. When you say on the same monitor, yeah, well, you're from the toolbar on your main monitor. Once you've arranged all your windows, you know it's from the toolbar in the Trade Ideas well, up here, right there. So from the toolbar, tools, options, layouts, and then check open relative to main window. So I'm assuming that what you've done is you just put all the windows, treated as windows as you want them. You just have to designate one of your monitors as the main window or as the main monitor. That's all. And typically, what that means is you're putting your toolbar in the top left-hand corner of your main monitor before you start this exercise. Okay? Now, Bill, let me see if I can find an email for Sebastian. Oh, good. I'm glad you caught it. Just a second. Just a second, Bill. Bill Fister. Let's see this. It's probably going to... I know there's a support email for him. Let me see if I can find support. I'm not sure what he's going to be able to do for you if you could see it last week, but you too, Susie Q. Well, Bill, just make sure though when you start the whole exercise, put that toolbar in the top left-hand corner. Okay, of your what we'll call your main monitor. Okay, your title bar, toolbar, up in the upper left-hand corner. Then put all your like I have. You see how I have all my windows arranged? I have other windows, Trader Ideas windows and scanners, etc. on my other monitors. Once I do that, then save your work. Yeah, I mean, save your layout, save the layout to the cloud. Entire layout. But so your layout saved, but also make sure you just go into tools, options, before you save the layout, sorry. Tools, options, layouts, and then check open relative to main window. Then when you save your layout and bring it back tomorrow, everything will be there, exactly where you want it to be. When you exit Trade Ideas, exit and it say save layout, you probably want to say yes. No, I know. I'm normally long gone, I know. Just trying to help. Second here. I'm just trying to find his support. I wish I just knew what his support was. Let me see if I can support. It's driving me crazy. Pro Trading Room. Everything I'm typing in, it's not popping up as something that I know we've done this many times. I'm talking about the developer of the room. Well, I'll tell you what I'll do, and I don't know, he probably won't like it, but Here's his email, okay? Okay, so here's his email, okay, and you can just hopefully copy that down and email him and say this is the problem you're having. I just can't find. He's going to give me a heck because there's a support email, but you know I'm doing my search and I just can't find it. Okay, Bill. No, I don't have a post market scan beside the. I mean, there's some scans that I use, but you know, I mean, they're just there's probably I don't know 5 or 7 of them that I use, and I'm not really sharing them. Okay. All right, guys. I really have to stop now. I don't think I can keep going. Okay, so tomorrow 9 o'clock we'll do it all over again. Have a great evening, everybody. We will see you in the trading room tomorrow.